Greetings, everybody. Ho, ho. It is a Thursday. It's a throwdown Thursday. In fact, can't wait to hang out with Comics Division and all the guys tonight. I think the show is going to be wonderful. There's a lot going on in the world that we can talk about here, of course. And of course, today, we're getting some bonus time, maybe as much as an hour. So hopefully we can stay, and talk about the things that you want to talk about. I have a couple of things that we can talk about, but there's way more out there. And kind of a bigger conversation when it comes to what we're going to see in theaters and in streaming. So hang on to your hats. We'll get to that after we get through the 6 minutes of news. And with that, I just want to say hi to each and every one of you out there. We've got, of course, Andy Masterson, the very talented and one of the channel members. There's Critizable, the Rainbow Knight. Great to see you, my friend. There's Iger fan in the house. We've got Catsith saying hello. Hello indeed. There's Hillis Mallory. What's going on? We've got, let's see, Iger fan. I think I said hi to a second ago. The Union of Amateur Strategists is here. Look at that member symbol right there. Love it. Look, we've got a few other folks popping in, like Darren Hughes, one of the amazing wrenches for the channel. We've got a couple other folks we'll get to, like Bone. What's going on, Bone? Great to see you, my friend. I've been seeing you around. Thanks for hanging out and checking out all the great channels that we've got. We've got Y Destroyer 3466V. Looks like a few other folks are out there, like my good buddy Captain Fandom Nerd. Been a member of this channel almost since the beginning. Thanks for being here, my friend. Rod Thunderheart. He spent some wonderful quality time with all of us last few minutes of this member stream. So if you're a member and you want some inspiration and a little common sense, check out what Rod Thunderheart said during that stream. We've got Josiah Robinson hanging out with us today. Looks like Randall Orser's checking in. A few other folks as we scroll down through the chat, like the Red Ranger, saying, why did they call it the Dark Ages? Too many nights. Ba-doom ching. That's a good one, man. Let's see who else is out there. Nearsighted Cyclops is here. How's it going, Nearsighted Cyclops? Looks like the Bad Cap. Yes, the Bad Cap is here. Thanks for being here, my friend, and for your support. I'm gonna have to order that red shirt. I like that one a lot. Blackia is here. Great to see you. My favorite bear, Snortopepus Q. Burr is here. TPC is here. What's up, TPC? Looks like we've got a lot to talk about in theme park therapy over on Lorena's channel here in the next few days, right? We've got Shrap 3D hanging out with us. Let's see. There's a few other folks rolling in the chat. Let's see. One Man Show. Greetings and salutation. What's going on, my friend? It's great to see you. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Worry about all of you guys when I don't see you for a while. Olaf Von S is out there. Great to see you, my friend. An amazing human indeed. We've got D.S. Ford hanging out with us. What's going on, bud? There's Mutant Bamhammer. Oyos, all my boyos. That's right. Can't focus today. I'm on coffee number 3, so I understand where you're coming from. I couldn't wake up today. We had a weird storm last night. Very strange. Vince Womack, what's going on, my friend? Let's see who rolled in the door as well. More and more folks popping in here. We got Spaceship Vampire in the house. Looks like we've got Dempsey, the Drunk Poet, and 11 Alpha. What's up? Dragon Master 360 is joining us. There's Matt W. What's going on, my friend? And Dave G. Sound. For some reason, the Stream Element spot is still here, and I don't know what. I'm Robin Leach, and I don't know why. No, okay, well, sorry, bad joke. All right, we got, let's see, Morgan King in the house. I think I saw Pinochet's helicopter tour. The world is crazy. It is. We have 19 stories to get through, and so we have to go. Midnight Mike is joining us. There's Sean Estep, Sassy Lass. Let's see who else popped in the door. Steven, what's going on? Deleted scenes. Keck 44. Look at that. Look at that. Look at these amazing humans. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? Oh, you're hyped for Scream. All right, you'll have to let me know what you think. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve does have a huge learning curve, my friend. What's going on, Commander Ed Straker of Shadow? Ram Bam 3000. Oh my gosh, here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching Thanks for checking out the 6-Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in 19 stories and all, as I said during the warm-up. Let's get started with this one. That's right. Bob Iger says ESPN is not for sale. Do you know how many times he said that in the last couple of weeks since he said it the first time? Like 3 times now. And what's weird is Deadline is just carrying the water for Disney right now, with this story being included in the conversation. ESPN is now one of the 3 divisions or pillars of the table. I think I've been telling you they were going to be the third leg since they said essentially there were going to be 3 divisions. And that's kind of making it so ESPN is inextricable from Disney. So it kind of forced the issue, so it won't be able to be sold, at least not easily. They're also moving Rosalind Durant back to ESPN. And they're doing that for a reason, because she's controllable inside of Iger's sphere. We've got John Wick looking at a decent opening, well, pretty good opening. In fact, one that's probably projected a little low. I think it's going to make more than the $60 to $70 million in its opening weekend. Why? Because people are looking for escape entertainment, and this is definitely it. And of course, you're going to have like some stories that are going to weigh into the message, but the film certainly isn't. You've got Donnie Yen basically saying that he was allowed to change his character up a little bit. Stilinski allowed him to A, change the name, and B, change the manner of dress, because it would get rid of some Asian stereotypes that he wasn't really a fan of. And now his character is based more on Bruce Lee, and it looks as interesting as I could have hoped for. We've got Aussie Media shutting down, and a story I knew was coming, and so did you, because we've been talking about this company for a long time. With Carlos Watson being charged with fraud and identity theft, they can't operate one more day. Not that there are a lot of assets here to worry about, but there are some, so we'll see how this goes down. We've got, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle asked to vacate their UK residence. That's right, we knew this story happened yesterday, but I thought it was interesting that there are no more spare houses for these two. Oh my. We've got fast channels could be worth $500 million in the UK by 2027. I'm laughing because whoever wrote this story and whoever edited this story, and I don't think either people paid much attention to what they were writing, don't understand that if something is generating $500 in revenue every year, it's worth way more than that. That's not how you calculate business worth. Whew, these people are silly. We got stops dipping. That's right. Guess what? This was predictable. I think I've been predicting this the last couple of days, and the reason is pretty clear. Inflation is still a lot more than anybody would hope for, and it's not going away anytime soon. This is a managed crash, folks. You've got things in Europe having the same problem. Inflation easing. No, there's still inflation. And again, AP is no longer a credible news source. They're the last ones that we got, kind of. But at the same time, they're constantly spinning stories for the Agenda 2030 crowd. And that is not news. That's just spin. Here we've got French senators deciding whether or not they want to have another revolution in their country while they debate the contested pension plan that their premier came up with. This is not going to go well if they decide to favor what that plan is. I think Paris could be in big trouble. We've got the UK grappling with vegetable shortages, again, because of the Agenda 2030 crowd, and not because of all of the explainer stuff they try to do in the AP, which is nothing more than opinion. They don't cover the actual news, what's actually the cause of things like this, which, again, is what they were supposed to do. You've got a labor judge deciding that Starbucks violated workers' rights and is forcing Starbucks to hire back the 7 employees and open the branch that they closed. It's interesting that we've granted that much authority to this labor board. I'm not sure that any of this will actually happen, but we'll have to see. I imagine this will end up going to court. You've got Tesla saying that they're going to cut the cost of production for the next generation of cars, which will also include cutting the price. So Teslas could get cheaper. We've got a film you've never heard of, Operation Fortune, opening up here this weekend. That's right. In fact, tomorrow, March 3rd. And this is supposedly pretty good. Another Guy Ritchie film. And I like these. I think this will do pretty well. Kiss has revealed their final tour dates for their final tour, we could only hope, ending in New York City. We've got Dish Network still reeling from the ransomware attack that they suffered, which, is part of a long string of them recently, including at the U.S. Marshals Service, which you didn't really hear much news about, and you should have. It's been very compromised. But this is going to take a while. It's going to take a while. You've got AP, again, explaining what ESG investing is and why everybody hates it as the battle actually wages in state houses, which a lot of state houses are turning against us, and at a national level in Congress. The battle lines have been drawn. We'll see who wins. We've got olive oil and coffee as an option over at Starbucks in Italy. I'm not sure I'm into that. Europeans do some funky stuff. And finally, on the Eat the Bugs front, a German ice cream parlor is offering cricket-flavored scoops. Seriously. Eat the bugs, folks. WEF says so. And with that, I'm out of time, and I'm out of stories, but I'm not out of energy, like I said before. This is a 6-minute daily with bonus time. So hang around, folks. We're not out of here. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye!
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.
That's right, everybody. We are going to have bonus time. So normally, at the end of the video, I would say, see ya, but I'm not going to say it. We're going to skip right over to the cleanup and talk about a couple of stories in the background and some stuff that you in the chat would like to talk about. Let's see. Oh, these are amazing people. I'm going to be adding to this list. This is a weekend project. I have plenty of members. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Help support the channel, like my good friend Eric K, who, well, basically is a wonderful human. Yay, boner time. That's right, for $2. You just wanted me to say that. Oh, I love all you. You're wonderful humans. But yeah, we're gonna do that and just kind of shoot the breeze for about an hour or so, maybe a little less than an hour. So for the 70 of you that are here, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. If you're watching on the replay, hit the like button there and leave a comment as well. 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser for $2 says, give culture more members. And again, normally we would end right here, but we're not. We got some bonus time. And as thank you for the super chat there, Nick. I hope you're doing well, brother. I had a lot of fun on the Wick discussion. We got another couple of Wicks for the next couple of weeks. I think it's going to be great. Sean Estep says, "Oh my God, the bonus." That's right. Oh my God, the bonus. You guys are great. Yeah, English is either posh or Cockney, indeed. And holy cow. Our good friend and wonderful wrench human, Darren Hughes, just gifted 10 Culture Casino memberships. Holy cow. Well, thank you so very much, Darren. You're amazing. Look at all those names go green. We added Blackia. We added Keck44. We added Zonder Hammerschlag. We added John Cipolla. We added Ginger Justice. We added John Gibson. A Tipping Bard. Looks like we added Aniel Jamali, welcome. And Curtis D, what's going on? And also Michael Weinfertner. Good to see you all. Thank you for that. Union of Amateur Strategists says in the member chat, that's cool. Nick Weiser flavor number 420, cricket flavored ice cream. Eat the bugs. There you go. I don't know if anybody's into that. I do know that was a weird story, right? And we'll switch to cleanup mode now. I do know that was a really weird story that I was not prepared for at all. It was very bad. Oh my goodness, Olaf Von S gifted another Culture Casino membership. Thank you, Olaf. I appreciate you. And thanks for that story this morning. I'm doing some follow-up on that. But yeah, Forbidden Ruin just got that membership. So welcome to the membership again, Forbidden Ruin. Shrap is like, oh, Shrap's like, so if you put crickets on ice cream, would that be Jiminy Gelato? I love it. You guys are great. Oh no, it's fine, Mighty Orbots. We'll be doing it again soon, my friend. And thanks for being a member. Yeah. Death Angel's Shadow. I guess chocolate chip mint doesn't count as cricket ice cream. No. Let's see. There's so much going on. You guys want to jump down a rabbit hole? We got a rabbit hole we can jump down if you want to. But first of all, this is great news. Our good friend Mr. H, just did an interesting cover of the story. I thought maybe would be someplace to start. I've noped out of a lot of stuff. I'm sure you guys have noticed, but I've really noped out of Star Trek. You can't get me to watch it. And now with this, Chris Pine is saying the Star Trek film franchise feels like it's cursed, calls it frustrating being kept out of the loop on Star Trek 4. Well, he was out of the loop even to realize or to find out that he was supposedly in this, because they hadn't sent him a contract yet, or anybody else that they had announced that was going to be involved. So I find it kind of strange. I find it kind of strange that this is actually a story, I guess, for lack of a better way of describing it. And I agree with Nick. We do need Mr. H on TNT. I'm trying to work that out. Thank you, the Union of Amateur Strategists, for the Culture Casino membership. And it looks like that was given to Evil Housewife. Excellent. But we look at it and we say, okay, so don't ask Chris Pine what's going on with Star Trek, even though he's one of the headlining stars. So he played Captain Kirk in 3 movies, and he is painfully out of the loop when it comes to the long-delayed and long-overhauled 4th movie. You've had Quentin Tarantino and Noah Hawley develop Star Trek 4 scripts, and that never got off the ground. Then you had Matt Shackman get involved in it, but he left the project because he's doing the Fantastic Four reboot instead. In other words, there's no forward movement on this. Do you know who's been reporting that accurately for a long time? Midnight's Edge. Tom and Andre and everybody over there have been talking about the lack of forward movement here. And look, I really do believe that if producer J.J. Abrams wasn't involved in this project, it might have actually got some traction. It might have actually moved forward. But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. And One Man Show is right. I want that check, indeed. But it's really frustrating to me because as much as I would like to see, Star Trek return to form, under its current guidance, it can't. J.J. Abrams is he doesn't have any creative juice, man. He just doesn't. He's always lived on somebody else's largesse, right? He's always been around because somebody else allowed him to be around. He's never earned anything he's been given, and he's didn't make anything that was worthwhile in the end. And I'm looking at Lost specifically. Holy cow, DS4 dropped 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that, DS4. I just noticed that, my friend. Thank you so very much. Wow. You guys are just so generous. Look at that. We ended up having a Southern Wilton Punkwaddle Bell. That's Southern Bell, by the way. Just get use a chat there in the membership. But we also had JC Gonzo get a membership. We had Dragon Bricks get a membership. We had Project Cambrian. What's up? Get a membership. Luis Escudero just got a membership, and Yolanda Gaines. Wow, you guys are awesome. I love all of you people. Thank you. The more members, the better. So you guys are like, you're going to work more, Culture. You're going to make a longer list of members. Yes, I am. Yes, I am indeed. Let's see. I have a question here, says Hey TN Fella. Has JJ delivered anything to Warner Brothers on his massive contract? What has he done recently? He is involved in one project, and for the life of me, while I try to gather that, from my memory banks, he's been involved in one thing as a part of that deal. Technically, through intermediaries, he's been involved in Warner Brothers and other places for a long period of time. I mean, his sycophants, or gosh, that's not really the right term. His family tree has unfortunately stretched from Paramount into Warner Brothers and other places. He is, not allowed to poison Disney anymore. They figured that out. But, he has not earned that $500 million financial benefit from Warner Brothers in almost any way. Because, again, he had a first look deal that was ridiculous. A lot of these people get those first look deals, and then they're never really able to bring something to to the table. I wonder what his production company's actually been able to produce over the last, outside of some television weakness, outside of in the last 2 or 3 years. I doubt he's brought much out there. The Star Trek franchise has been a question mark since 2016. Star Trek Beyond, which only earned $344 million worldwide. I think Mr. H pointed out that they were anticipating $1 billion for this trash compacted movie. I have no interest in anything JJ does. I don't know about the rest of you, but it is what it is. Yeah, honestly, Warner Brothers paying JJ $500 million to stay away from Warner Brothers projects is a good buy. Maybe not a good price, but it's a good thing to buy. There you go. Yeah, I am not interested in that. Let's see. It was a good episode 3 on Picard. Yeah, he like I said, the only person that really is making that show work would be Metalis. And congratulations. It is good to hear. I'm hopeful that he's able to get like twist away a little bit more control, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know. And I want to say thanks one more time to the people who gifted memberships today, is specifically Darren Hughes for the 10 Cultured Casino memberships, my friend. That was an extraordinarily generous move. I appreciate that. Yeah, they didn't know how to end Lost. Indeed, the Time Prophet. Indeed. And again, when people know what they're doing, as Southern Wilton Punk Bell says here in the chat, you end up with good things. But when people don't know what they're doing, or they're stripping it down for an agenda reason, to be culturally sensitive or whatever other garbage they're trying to spew at you, you end up with what we got now. And frankly, the audiences are tired of it. In fact, I believe that the quote unquote normies, or let's just say regular people out there who are not fanatics about these things, I think they're watching more and more of what we're doing, and they're catching more of what Mr. H says, and they're catching more of what they say on Midnight's Edge, and they're catching more of what Comics Division says. And as the channels grow, and including, look at Paul Chatto tells the truth, right? And comes from a position of authority, which again, he doesn't need that argument. By the way, position of authority arguments are usually pretty weak as well. So I don't even, that doesn't usually figure into the equation for me. But you have everybody exposing like the good and the bad right to their face, and again, most people now are looking to the internet, to YouTube, to Rumble, to Odysee, to listen to people talking about these things. They're not going on digital media anymore. Digital media is failing in a cascading way now. We're watching the collapse of, and I'm going to do a video on this, we're watching the collapse of Vice, BuzzFeed, Vox. We're watching them just implode, right? And you're seeing other media companies recognizing that and buying in so that they can eventually buy them out. And they're going to strip mine those assets and bring them into themselves. And they're going to fire a boatload of people when they do it, or lay off. Same thing. But you're going to start to see this, and it's been happening. I should be doing a video on this. There's so many videos I could do. The problem is, the more videos I do, the less interest I get in them. So I've learned a very valuable lesson. 5 a day, bad idea. 4 a day, bad idea. 1 every other day, probably a better idea. Very weird. But anyway, these kinds of things are going to continue to happen, and you're going to see a lot of digital media collapse. I think who was it? Clownfish TV, again, another wonderful channel people pay attention to, was talking about the collapse of games media. At least, games review sites and stuff like that. IGN won't be around in 5 years. Kotaku definitely won't be around in 5 years, because it's part of that Vox Media, Vox, BuzzFeed, et cetera, et cetera. Those groups of media are going to collapse. Geo media going to collapse. It's all going to be bye-bye. So they're ad-supported tech. Ad tech is failing, right? Other than on platforms like you see here. So you'll notice something that has changed about this channel. I'm now leaning into podcasting as well. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to definitely list this stream and any of my other live streams as podcasts. Apparently that's the next big thing. So that's what I'm going to do. And you'll see more and more channels doing that. Let's see who else is out there. Hey, what's up? It's Q2 Cast. What's going on? Video later today. Delays on the Mercedes Carrera. Whoa. They've been held in jail for 4 years on $4 million bail. Wow. I did not know that. Wow. All right. I'll be paying attention to that, Q2 Cast. Appreciate that, my friend. We've got JJ had promised, but ultimately exposed as a fraud. That's probably a good assessment, the Bad Cap. I agree with you, my friend. If JJ is in it, I'm out. There you go, Channel Surf. A lot of people feel that way. Let's see. Who else is out there? Lost? The ending. I see what you did there. That's right. There's a lot of people that feel this way about Trek right now. And that's a shame. Trek used to be something that brought a lot of people together. Let's see. Oh, Ironcraft says, I've got a family friend to start watching it. Thank you for that, Ironcaster. I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, share the stream, share the dream, share the channel. Sure. Yeah. Now I'm unfortunately going to have to start leaning back into shorts because right now, again, Mr. H was talking about that also in his latest video. If you're on this platform specifically and you aren't doing shorts, your channel just kind of gets squished. Truly. Yeah. And this is the truth. And this is a realization I had to come to. I haven't got time to watch 5 videos a day. Well, and I was really stretching my time to make 5 a day. So it's hard. Yeah. And HeyTN's like 1 a day is perfectly fine. Well, thank you for that. Man, I would love to work with James O'Keefe, Larry. A name so nice. You have to say it twice. Larry. Yeah, no, I'd love to work with James O'Keefe. The problem is I'm not at liberty to travel as much as I would need to work for him. But I'd love to do it. I need to look into being a story editor for somebody, or start writing. I really do think that I've been leaning towards, and I think I've talked about this before. I'm leaning towards starting my own website because I own the domain. I might as well do the site. I think I could publish a bunch of stories if people had time to read them, and that gives you some additional cred, but not in it for cred. Let's see. Isaj Melodi's here. What's up? It's hard to believe JJ has legitimate children. Yes, he has the inability to finish anything. Whoa. Hey, Jerry's here. What's up, Jerry Mendoza? Yeah, a lot of people don't like shorts, Death Angel Shadow, but they're going to show up there. It's just the way it is. What's up, Philip Gaming? Good to see you. What's up? Daniel Nolan says you have to play the algorithm meta. Unfortunately, been that way for a while. Yeah, it's getting worse. It's getting worse, Daniel. I think though. And again, I'm gonna try to lean other ways, and then I'll repackage some of the podcasts into some different things. So, yeah. Thoughts on the Disney dilemma? Asks Hillis Mallory. Sorry, my friend. I did not mean to misgender you. But no, yeah, Hillis, I think they're in big trouble. They've leaned way too far into trying to normalize garbage cultural things, right? They've leaned too far into the agenda. I think that you don't have to look. It's not even the story that they want to tell. Like people are, narcissists or phobes or whatever it is they're trying to say. With things like Little Mermaid, right? They are literally exposed for having no creativity. I've said this a million times now. I'm going to keep saying it. Repurposing quality stories, things that are classics, things that are close to home for everybody, things that are incorporated in pop culture, into the zeitgeist permanently, like things like Peter Pan, Little Mermaid, stuff like that. You go about tearing that stuff down by repurposing it and changing the story to fit modern bologna sausage. you got problems. And I'm telling you, Disney is infected with this in a way that, again, they're going to have a hard time crawling out from under, despite the fact that they've had a lot of turnover in their HR departments, and they've had a lot of, you know, cancellation of a lot of the people that were in the DIE movement, right? Division, incursion, and extermination division that they have there at Disney. That that's really undermined their product. And the fact that they have legitimate activists working within their framework, people who have been exposed on Reimagine Tomorrow video conferences and such, that's really a problem for them. So my thoughts on their dilemma: until they get through this bad product, like Wendy and Peter, I'm going to say it that way. I think they're in trouble. I think they're in trouble. And you know, you're looking at, I don't think I've ever seen 250,000 dislikes on a video so fast, right? I don't think I've seen that before. And you can hide that little feature all you want, right? But with people like that have the extension, and people that are, you know, that can still see comments, and people that are still leaving comments, none of that's an upside. It should be exposing investors to these things, you know. And again, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I try to deal in facts and figures. I think it's really important. If I can bring to the table that this particular video had this kind of interaction, the ratio was, you know, 100 to 1. That's bad. You literally are reducing the size of your influence, because you're reducing the size of your engaged audience. And again, the problem with services like Parrot Analytics and a lot of these companies that look at engagement from a purely numbers game don't understand that the idea that any publicity is good publicity. No, that axiom, that particular way of thinking, yeah, that's gone. It's been gone for about 5 years now. Negative things, if you look at it from a business perspective, because now that everything's treated like advertising and, like, you know, like a customer service ratio thing, you're seeing this the skew that if you start getting roasted, it's gonna crush you. I mean, look at Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. Not only did they make a bad product, it was reviewed as a bad product. It was even reviewed as a bad product by the critics. You know, and Disney's losing influence where they need it, you know, and that's bad. I mean, they own influence. I mean, they own ABC News. They own way too much. It's another conversation. But yeah, this thing is collapsing under its own weight. When we talked during the 6-minute daily stream itself about ESG investing and AP trying to go out there and frame around it, you know, investors are not interested in it. And the only people that are seem to be the institutional groups that are trying to force it through. And I think they're doing that in spite of, you know, what could potentially happen to them. I think they're going to get sued 3 ways to Sunday, and I think the government could get involved if they see those entities as being too influential. Because again, the government doesn't like competition, so you're going to start seeing some of these big entities start to get stripped down, perhaps broken up. If I were Alphabet right now, I'd be a little worried, you know, because sometimes, you know, being a little too heavy-handed in one area leads you to exposure, leads you to frustration. And then guess what? It might become a popular idea, especially politically, to break down these large entities. And again, that reduces the power and influence that they have over the government, which makes the government more powerful. That's the way the crass mind of the politician works. Anyway, that was fun. Wow, what a rant, huh? I appreciate that. I think that was all because of Hillis Mallory. So Yek no mano. Yes, the mouse muddle. That's right. Disney Plus is a money pit. It is. In fact, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about how much of a money pit this stuff is, right? So, Care Erickson over at Variety wrote a VIP article that I haven't actually been able to get all the way through yet. But maybe we'll just do it together. Let's do that. So franchises and film tentpoles are crucial for boosting popularity at streaming services. Uh-oh. All of these companies in their quarterlies just came out and told you and me and all their investors that they needed to cut back on these giant expenditures. The only one that was a little more honest, it seems, was Comcast, saying that they were going to have a very expensive year this year in 2023. So they're going to have to spend more money. Well, Disney's already, I don't know, $30 billion in the red on this thing. That's a lot of money. That's like almost the entire war chest that they built up before the global crisis happened, right? That's a lot of money. And if you're going to dive headlong into this, that's a real problem. So you've got, let's see, exclusive data from YouGov's 2022 Global Film and TV report shared with VIP reveals that streaming services saw the biggest increases in popularity throughout 2022. So a slight decrease in popularity didn't knock Netflix from number one, of course not. And here you go. So Netflix 97.5, Disney Plus 90, Prime Video 88.5, 71.9, and this is artificially higher Prime Video, but that's neither here nor there. Of course, HBO Max. Everything else is probably on the back end of survival, to be honest with you. Apple lost a huge amount of ground compared to everybody else. Look at that, 1.7%. Okay, so Top Gun Maverick registered the highest global appetite score for a film, granting an additional boost to Paramount Plus. There you go. Yellowstone prequel series 1883 began streaming on Paramount Plus in December 2020, achieved higher appetite score in the US than any other item in a streamer, and contributed 37% year-over-year leap in popularity. So you have to spend money, is what this is boiling down to retain or attain popularity as a streaming service. That's a real problem because none of them are making money except for Netflix. Netflix is profitable. Everything else is a giant hole, a pit to throw money into and then set it on fire. That's a real problem. I don't know that that's going to go anywhere with that. But we'll have to see. Theliato says streaming is popular, but it's not efficient. There you go. Tentpoles simply aren't feasible for these services. No, they're too costly. They don't render any kind of a yield. They don't increase or decrease churn. If you have an event, people will subscribe for the term of the event, and then they're off again. And you're not going to get anybody to sign a contract ever again, long term, never. So they depend on media, which is shown on traditional mediums to be successful. There you go. And that's why everybody's leaning back into FAST, which is another story we talked about today, which Deadline doesn't really understand how money works, but that's okay. Whoever wrote that story, I should say, doesn't understand that. But to be fair, the only thing that really works well is what Netflix was doing. And it worked really well for all these studios until they decided they needed to have one of their own. And let me tell you, the walled garden approach does not work. Disney has starved itself of revenue at the worst possible time. The worst possible time. Yeah, I liked going to the video store, right? That ship sailed, but I did like it. Yeah, they're not going to talk about the growth of fast channels, and that blows my mind too, right? Q2 Cast, yeah, it blows my mind because you're seeing rampant growth. Just, I mean, we were talking about, and again in the 6-minute segment, we're talking about the fact that the UK, they're like, well, these things are going to be worth $500 million. No, they're going to generate $500 million in revenue. See, pay attention. They don't get it. It's fine, but that's just in the UK. United States fast channels are growing like a weed. I talk about them all the time for a reason, because you can still run traditional ads on them. They're very much like regular linear television that's being delivered to you in a more efficient way. You're not limited in the number of channels that you can receive, but to be fair, diginets are also expanding in the linear television space at a time when supposedly linear television, broadcast TV, cable, etc., are starting to collapse. I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's just there's many other ways or options and a way to consume the media. And that's the conversation. But there's a lot of revenue to be gained. And let me tell you, Roku's headed in the right direction with that. And all of those things. And of course, there's my editor. What's going on, Mr. Grant Gregory? Hope you're doing, brother. Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of people that only watch fast. That's true. And diginets. Evil Rahman says, and Disney has gotten political, and political winds are shifting. Thus, Florida's ending of their special relationship. Yeah, that's encapsulated in one thought. Yes, 100%. And it's and here's the thing. I mean, it's not just that. We watch the fact that they're not having growth at Disney Plus now, and especially in North America. It's stagnated. And that's probably likely to continue. And as they raise their prices and offer less compelling entertainment, I think that'll continue. I really do. Disney's got some real problems, and they've been exposed for everybody to see. And they're continuing to be exposed. And if they're on the wrong side of the quote unquote culture war, to me, it's just the fight for freedom, to be honest with you. I don't think it's really a cultural war as it is just a matter of like maintaining individual freedom. But if they're on the wrong side of that, they're in big trouble. I mean, and again, I mean, it's all laid out. I mean, the reason that they're laid out as a subscription is they don't want you to own things. They don't want, I mean, that's ultimately the goal of the WEF and everybody else. I mean, eats the bugs guys and all that, is they want you to they want everything in your life to be a subscription service. How more dystopian can you possibly get? Oh, I'll ask again. What is fast channels? That's Darren Hughes. Darren, okay, fast channels. Fast channels are free ad-supported streaming. So like Tubi, right, or Freeview, right? There's a lot of services that offer a lot of different channels that essentially cater. Some of them even cater to specific shows. Like, I mean, I don't think this is a channel, but like Gunsmoke, like the Gunsmoke channel. Well, they're just gonna stream those episodes at you, but they're gonna insert ads into them. Those ads make revenue, pay for the licensing for the show, et cetera, et cetera. Those fast channels exist. You have a lot of those. It's like expanding on the idea of TV Land. Remember when that came out? Nickelodeon decided they were going to do adult entertainment. Brilliant, by the way. And then they leaned into, all those shows we grew up with in syndication as a kid. That was awesome, right? You could watch the Andy Griffith Show and, Leave It to Beaver and all that wonderful stuff. Well, they're doing that now in a streaming fashion and inserting the same commercials they were in TV Land. Pretty smart. Pluto. Yeah, Pluto TV is one of them. Thank you, Randall Orser. Yeah, and Crunchyroll used to be free. Yeah, all of you guys are right. So, this is 100%. Yeah, free advertised streaming television. Exactly. And that's it. All of that is correct, and I love it. Yeah, Pluto. Yeah, here we go. Pluto is CBS Paramount channel. Yeah, and there's a lot of them. Like Warner Brothers actually owns their own thing too. Keep that in mind. Yeah, free ad supported television. There it is. And Dave G Sound says there's a Star Trek channel. See, very cool stuff. And again, those are expanding. And this is a conversation like Q2 was talking about. Q2 Cast was talking about. This is going to be an area that's going to continue to grow. People are just going to say, you know what, this is a show nobody really remembers, but it's good, and I can probably make ad revenue on it. They'll license it. They'll share it. Warner Brothers is going to be in the licensing business going forward. They have an enormous catalog. They can license out this thing to somebody. They can set it up as a fast channel. and run from there. They can even probably do it through Roku directly. Serve everything off of Vimeo and, make quite a bit of revenue by having Roku inject the ads directly. There's a lot of ways to go about it. We've got Pilgrim Media for a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, my friend, saying subscription for everything. I'll steal everything. Yeah, well, that's been happening. I mean, right now, people are not subscribing to Walmart. Oh, I have a story. Next week, we're going to cover something very serious indeed. You have to gather some more facts and numbers, but I think at least in some areas you're starting to see a shift with an intolerance for garbage that's inserted into our everyday life, and I think that the recent election for mayor in Chicago might be an indication of that. Let's say. Hey, what's going on, Dark Shadow Logan? Good to see you. I saw Matt W here too. You're right on the money when it comes to the future of these streaming services and such. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think most people now probably recognize where we're at with this. The Batcap says my hobby is physical media. I have over 1,500 movies. Awesome, my friend. I explained to my two sons that there will be a time when these won't be available. That's right. So when you go to, by the way, some of your best friends for physical media, this is going to sound weird. It's going to sound like 100,000 years old, but go to an estate sale. Estate sales have CDs, DVDs, VHS tapes. Hey, if you can find an old VHS player that is in good shape and has been maintained, you can just set it up in storage, pull it out when you need it, set up, run the cleaning tape through it, set up the tracking, and then run your tapes on it. You'll be surprised how well those held up. There's amazing media. But you can take those VHS tapes and that VCR, and you can convert them to digital and just preserve them forever in your own way, right? Set up a network access server, which is just a big hard drive with a NIC plug in the back of it, and you can serve your own media from there. And there's a little app you can add to your Roku that will actually find your NAS and make it so you can do that easily. But I always encourage physical media. You can find them at estate sales, and if you roll into a pawn shop every once in a while, you can pick up physical media too. I mean, there's a lot of places. You can find it at, if you're in an area in the States that has like a Goodwill, I think there's a few places where you're still going to be able to get that stuff. Do that. Is there enough ads going around for these fast channels? Yes, believe it or not. Unfortunately, it kind of suffers from the early ad-based stuff that we got from Pluto. Originally, one of the frustrations I had with Pluto is I kept getting the same ad like 4 times in a row. I'd be like, I don't really need insurance this badly, because there was a lot of Progressive insurance ads. So kind of noped out on it initially, but I'm back at it every once in a while. So there you are. Time Prophet says, I'm not sure how adverts make money. I've never bought anything on the strength of an advertisement. Well, it does work. Ads work based on impressions, right? You subconsciously every day you'll be driving down the highway here in the United States. I know you're in the UK, but you'll be driving down the highway. You'll see a billboard, right? And it's this accident injury lawyer, right? And one day you get in an auto accident. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Oh, I remember that billboard. That was like this, Dewey, screw him and how, right? And so you call Dewey, screw him and how, and that ad worked. It just took a long time. Same kind of an idea. You get a whole lot of impressions of an ad, and somebody's like, you know what? My insurance is way too expensive. I just paid my insurance bill. It's too high. I'm going to call these guys. Believe it or not, whether it's on a conscious or subconscious level, advertisements do work because it increases brand awareness. Brand awareness. In order to maintain a good brand, though, you have to be a reliable brand. You can't deviate from what your brand does, which Disney's done. A lot of these companies have done it, and it's actually hurt them financially. Again, these companies could be making money hand over fist if they hadn't changed. Disney right now could have been $1 trillion company easily. How? Well, all they had to do was ignore the stuff that was coming at them from the left and be the standout for the Western culture and life is good media and take care of your family and all that other stuff. Disney could have stayed there. They chose not to. Warner Brothers is trying to find a balance. I think they're tipping that balance in favor of leaning into more broadly interesting things to the audience, but somebody's going to come along and replace these guys real soon. I'm watching creators come together in a way that I didn't imagine possible. We are and have, I will still make that argument, replaced a lot of the mainstream stuff at this point. So it's going to continue to be like that. This is also true. That's the other problem. Dave G. Sound says only a few sponsors, and they don't necessarily run that many ads during the course of that. Hey, CC, why did Peacock leave the free tier if Tubi is doing fine? Well, they need more revenue. They're about to spend a lot of money. So they kind of robbed Peter to pay Paul. But the people who still have the free tier, I think, are still grandfathered into free. They just aren't offering their free tier anymore, which is weird. They should have stuck with that. But it is what it is. And there are a lot of people that go, yar, indeed. Yeah, that's going to be a problem going forward. Yeah. Yeah, Warner has a lot of fast channels. They do. Yep. And those, and here's the thing, and again, Q2 is right on the money here. That's going to expand. Zaslav saw an opportunity. That's why he pulled. This is everybody was like mystified about why is Westworld disappearing. And initially I was too, and then I went, oh wait, that's going to end up somewhere else. And that's what they're doing. They're going to put all this stuff other places and make money. Again, walled gardens, while conceivably a good idea, went back to old status ideas of like the 40s and 50s, and that ruined Hollywood. And it was only with the creation of the vault, the VHS releases, eventually the DVD releases. And, Disney's been able to sell a product multiple times, and instead of staying on that same path, they deviated to try to confine everything in a walled garden. It cost them a lot of money. Cost them a huge contract with Netflix. Cost them a huge deal with a lot of the pay channels, right? And just wasn't good. It's still not good. And again, Disney is going to be a cautionary tale, unfortunately. To be fair. Let's see who else is in the house. Do we screw them and how? Yeah. You guys are amazing. Remember when cable TV billed itself as ad-free? Yeah, I do. It wasn't really. The premium channels were. I loved the premium channels. When I grew up, I saw the launch, day one launch, moment one launch of MTV. True story. From there, cable got better and better over time, launched amazing ideas that eventually got corrupted. I mean, I would point towards CNN, but that kind of news media was always going to be out there to be exploited eventually. And again, I mean, the politics behind Ted Turner. I mean, he married, Hanoi Jane. You knew that was going to go badly for everybody involved. But anyway, sorry. Yep. August 1981. Bum, ba-dum, 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 bum. Anyway. All right, let's do some more stuff because I just thought that would be an interesting article to talk about, with the fact that they're going to have to spend even more money supposedly on these things, and there's no appetite for it from the investing side of the room, right? The investors they're looking for ROI. There is none. Yeah, and Warner Brothers still prints Blu-rays on demand. There you go. You used to be able to do that. Go into a store and have a disc printed. That was awesome. Yeah, HBO ran from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. That's right. And you had to have a box. There was a time, that was a really weird time in life, right? You had to tune your TV to a specific UHF channel. You had to turn on your descrambler. I think the first version of that I saw in my lifetime was on TV. Look that up, kids. Bonkers stuff. Dang, I'm old. All right. Sassy Lass says culture. I saw the launch of MTV as well. It was a really big deal. It was huge. I remember do you remember the first video that they played? Yeah, I do. It's a weird band name like the Wiggles or something. If I remember right. I don't know. I'm old. I don't have that kind of memory. You probably know. I feel like video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio star in my mind and in my car. Or whatever. It's fun. My biological mother worked for the cable company in 1970s. Saw HBO in its earliest iteration. Yeah, I liked it. You remember, of course, you can still find it on YouTube, but you can see the original 480 intro thing, which is amazing. Oh, wow. I just zoomed out, apparently. Let's try that again. You guys can see the mess on my desk. Yeah, I read a lot and write a lot of notes. And yes, there are notepads on my desk. It is what it is. What's going on? Yeah, lots of people I remember Friday night videos. That's right. Pinochet's helicopter tour says Ted Turner also alleged to be behind the GA Guidestones. Yeah, and their sudden lack of existence or their destruction. Yeah, didn't want that out there, did they? Yep, Fraggle Rock original. That's right. Experiment 626. Man, my sister loved that show. Down in Fraggle Rock. Did I see your text? Jerry, I don't know. This thing's screaming by right now. I already told you what it was. Where are you at, man? What did you say? There it is. Video killed the radio star. So Jerry beat us all to it. So there you go. Sorry, my friend. I've been trying to keep the chat current, so I apologize. But good job. You win. We can't rewind. We've gone too far. Too far. Yeah, let's try where we are. Yeah, it was the Bungles. The Bungles. There we go. Thank you. I thought it was the Wiggles. I don't know. Something like that. You guys are great. Yeah, the MTV. Okay, so here's the cool thing, right? MTV was like commercials, the channel, because that's what music videos were. They're commercials for these bands, for this music. Man, let me tell you, the record labels loved that. Holy cow! Especially right when we were headed into the DVD side of things. Yeah, or excuse me, CD side of things. Yeah. Yep, original HBO ran the same movie 5 times a day. I love that. Well, here was the cool thing. If you had all of the HBOs, because you had satellite or something, you could actually watch the same movie like 5 times straight or whatever. Right? I mean, it was just like you could just watch everything. It was so good. I don't know what happened. Yep, Thriller, Van Halen. Yeah, man, we're old. Come on, guys. Hey, look, it's Sporkin. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah. Q2Cast says, in my public access days, we ran music videos on our shows before MTV. Well, there you go. Yeah, it were few and far between. A lot of times, if you remember, I think because we're older, you could actually see you used to see a music video actually before a film sometimes as a short film. So. Why Destroyer is working on Blender. Eesh. Crazy. All right. Any of the stories you guys want to get into that we talked about today? I mean, we can talk about the collapse of the economy globally. That's not a lot of fun. We can talk about the world's 2 least favorite people. I always figure they went out on a campaign to get everybody to hate them, and they succeeded, of course. We are talking about these folks here, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Look, the level of dumb involved here is pretty high level of dumb. You went out and attacked your family, and you get kicked out of one of their spare houses. Notice how I'm saying the word spare? Yeah, that's the name of dumbass's book here. Anyway, so yeah, they were asked to vacate that particular cottage. which makes sense. No spare houses for you now. But it is what it is. Oh, wow. Pilgrim Media says, my dad paid $900 for his first VHS in 1981. We had one of the very first ones. And by the way, when you like hit the play button on that, it was like, it took like 40 pounds of force to hit play or to hit play and record. It was crazy. The mechanics on that were bonkers. Yeah, I remember those things, man. We had one at a very early on, and it was kind of a novelty. A lot of kids would come to the house down to the basement and be amazed that we were watching something, or that we record things. That was the other thing. It was crazy. I remember recording episodes of, I think, A-Team or something. It was like nuts. So, yeah. Another $2 from Pilgrim Media. Thank you, my friend. Oh, did you mean to do this twice? Pilgrim, is that okay? Do I need to send you $2 back? Thanks for doubling up there. I hope that was just a graphical mistake, not real. Well, thank you, my friend. Wow. But anyway, yeah, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle asked to vacate UK residence. So, a spokesperson for the duo told local media, "We can confirm the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been requested to vacate their residence at Frogmore Cottage." So, yeah. And if you didn't think it was because of this, you'd be wrong. I guarantee you. Attacking your family is not the right way to go about things. It's reported that the request for the couple to decamp was sanctioned by Harry's father, Charles III, whose coronation will take place this summer. It is yet unclear if the Sussexes will attend. Don't blow up your family, and don't do it in in public. That's just plumb dumb. It's just a cottage. Get out. We've been trying to get rid of him. We're trying to ship him back to you. Maybe Canada will take him. I don't know. Canadians, my Canadian friends. We can work out an exchange. Okay. All right. We'll take Ryan Reynolds, and you can have the Royals. They both start with R. It'll be fine. Oh yeah, beta. You could get a Betamax with a corded remote. I think some of the VHSs had that as well. It was very weird. Let's see. Spare goes on sale because bookstores have too many spares. Thank you, Maestro. Meghan has invited Hollywood elites that she never met to her wedding. Yeah. This chick was desperate for love outside of her own decent family structure. And she's just not a good person. Meghan Markle, move out. Where will I put all my shoes? Thank you, One Man Show. A top loader. Yeah, a top loader VHS. You had to push down on the thing, and then the buttons, man, it was like, it's a lot of force. Let's see. Yeah, the tracking was nuts. You guys are right. Thanks for being here, Spork. Ooh, here we go. Remember when Sony tried to get its own way with the Betamax? Might have been a superior, but not everybody wanted to buy a Sony. That's right. And that was the problem. That was a monopoly thing, right? You know, and Americans were like, well, I can buy these other things cheaper. And maybe the quality isn't the same, and that's true. But it's good enough. And that's Americans have always said, like, that's good enough. You know, yeah, my truck doesn't have the best looks, but it works every single day. That's good enough. That's right. This is true. We can't get Canada to take Justin Bieber back. Yeah, him and his issues with something that came out of nowhere that made him cancel all his tours. Can't talk about that. H&M fit perfectly in California. I'm going to say this. California as a state is absolutely beautiful. It should be divided into 3. Seriously. Should be 3 states. Southern California is like one of the most perfect places in the world. San Diego specifically. The problem is LA. LA used to be great. Now it's trash bags. There you go. Philips with V2000. Yeah, Sony did want a corner of the market. It was a very expensive endeavor indeed. And Betamax was proprietary. Loving these long form dailies. Well, thank you, Mr. Grant Gregory. Like I said, we'll do them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you're more than welcome to join. You have administrative access here on the live stream, so, and you know that. What happened to my 8-track tape player? I think I have at least 2 still in storage. One with the little flip on and off like thing and the little slider. Like it's all built in, but man, I love 8-tracks. They're great. "52 states." That's right. Somebody said 52 states. There it is. Yeknomino. Yeah. Need to update the map. Yeah, you could still find Betamax for years afterwards, but yeah. Well, on Laserdiscs, my goodness, right? Laserdiscs. They just shrunk them. Better idea anyway. Batcap says, "I live in LA and it's sad." It's sad. I used to love to go into downtown, right? And, probably one of the best dinners I ever had was at the Water Grill. Fantastic restaurant, or used to be. I don't even know if it's still there. But then, you could go and you could cruise around the fashion districts, the fashion and buy fabric and all kinds of stuff, man. Stuff that you couldn't find anywhere else. If you were, like I said, if you were a haunt builder, or if you built animatronics or any of that, there were so many materials that you could pick up there that you didn't really find in other places. It was just ideal. I don't know. Crap happens though, folks. It really does. Grifting with Grimace for an Australian $2 says, "Another few dollary dues for the long streams." Well, thank you. Dollary do. That's right. Appreciate it. First time I saw Laserdisc, says Matt W, was in SLC Punk. That's right. God, oh man, what a classic. I have an 8-track hooked up to my stereo. I have a lot of component stereo equipment still. Right now, I'm looking for a Macintosh power amp and one of the high-end Kenwood tuners from the 70s. I have some Mac ML2 speakers that need a powerful power source. So I did not get to the South Park episode yet. Don't spoil it for me. Do I think places like LA can be saved? Well, I'm looking at Chicago right now. Let's look at what happens in Chicago over the next 2 years, Mike, and see what happens there. Right? I mean, it's going to take a complete mind shift. People are going to have to be willing to accept the fact that they were wrong and they were led astray. And the more people that do that, the faster they do that, the better. Hollywood is going to have to be reformed because, let's be fair, that's what manages that town is Hollywood. Yes, DAT, digital audio tape. Yep, CDV, CDI. I remember all these things. Video CDs. I remember all that. Okay. Yeah, the Sega CD was rad. Yeah, I think Chicago has a chance, Darren. I really do. We'll have to see, though. I hope you're doing good, man. And thanks for your support today. Those 10 members were amazing. Anybody who donated members to ES4 and everybody who did that today, thank you. It does help. People like being members. Thoughts on getting into an IT job in this environment? Well, there's plenty out there. You just have to be more, you have to be willing to be portable. Now, what I mean is some companies are going to require you to be physically present, which means you may have to relocate states, cities, whatever. Eventually, you're going to have the same problem that we had with the .com bubble and everything else. In fact, you're seeing an extended release of people that are involved in the industry. But truly, the people that are being exited are marketing people and HR and DIE people and stuff like that. But you're seeing a lot of professionals exit the market as well. I feel like you can find the jobs, but again, you personally need to be portable. And it's going to come down to your salesmanship of yourself, just like it always used to. The you can play the checkbox game if the company you're looking at is still looking for that. Just find some unique characteristics that can make you one of the checkboxes, I guess. Sorry, I got a refill on coffee. Let's see. Yeah, Laserdisc were rad. Yeah, books printed on paper. I have an entire bookcase here. Need to build another one, actually. Beetlejuice is gone. That's right, Thunderduck. We can cheer that here in the States. Yeah. Oh, again, I hate to say it, and I hate to divide it down, political lines, but some people have pointed out some very interesting facts about states and cities that lean into particular agendas. It's a problem, especially after they've been in control for 40, 50 years. Q2 Cast TV says it depends on who will be mayor and who will replace the police chief who resigned. Yeah, I don't think his resignation went right into effect because he was publicly speaking yesterday after one of their officers was assassinated. They won't say it that way, by the way. That's what happened. Pilgrim Media for $2. Thank you, my friend. Says, how do we put down BlackRock and ESG? Well, they're working on it. Vanguard's starting to actively turn away from this type of investment. They see the writing on the wall. I think a lot of them are starting to see that, this has been exposed and is being rejected, and it could result in a lawsuit that we don't really want to be engaged in. And we're losing out on opportunities to be playing with state money because a lot of the states are fighting this battle right now. And that was one of the things they tried to talk about in the most framed way I've ever seen by the AP. But that's so. How do we put it down? Well, we basically go after them for failing to fulfill the fiduciary duty of putting their clients' money and the earnings first, rather than this agenda first, which doesn't yield the kind of numbers that they supposedly have touted. It's going to take the federal government or some element, or maybe state governments, to sue on behalf of shareholders or in conjunction with shareholders. Something there's going to have to be legal action. I would have to talk to an attorney specifically, but and that would be most of these others other than State Street and BlackRock would be my guess. So I think, Amazon still uses DAT for backing up large amounts of data, and they should. I still have a DAT. I don't use it anymore, but I still have it. Still, and I can go back to it at any time, but you can store a buttload on it. Yeah. I guess this is also true, unfortunately, for those of you talking about that question. There's a lot of people flooded in because because it's assumed that if you have a degree or even a certificate that would indicate that you have a certain level of knowledge and comprehension of what you're doing, the employer soon finds out that you are woefully underprepared for what they need you to do. So they are looking for higher level in terms of skills and experience. So a fresh start is going to be hard, as Steliatos is pointing out here, I believe. So I think another person to talk to about that would be Comics Division. I can ask him tonight. Or doing the show. You guys should pop in. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm skipping around. And Larry, I think you're right. ESG is definitely going to be a company killer. Internships are the new degrees. That's true. Degrees have become high school diplomas. Thank you, Theliato. That's exactly right. Now, you know what? Here's the weird thing. A lot of people learn that way too late. And this is why, and here's the thing. The reason that all these people are like, well, I can't afford the student loan that I took out for my college degree because I'm putting money back into a system that failed me. Well, no, your education failed you. You thought that underwater basket weaving humanities degree was going to be worth something, and it's not. You know, and look, you're going to watch a lot of these HRDIE jobs disappear. Division, incursion, and extermination isn't going to be a winning strategy anywhere. You know, because let me tell you something: the employers were already under the gun to be equal opportunity employers. That's really all you need. You know, and that because it covers everybody and not just a specific group of people who want additional rights. Because that's all this comes down to. We need additional help. Why? Be a human being like everybody else. You have your features and flaws, and we all do, and live within those. I've had to. Yeah. Hey, Pinochet's helicopter tours $2 says thoughts on BlackRock using 46 EXO to justify ESG. It's very frustrating. It's not going to work. I mean, you can justify, anything under an executive order, but that's temporary. And you know what? That executive order is going to get shot in the face, just like another thing that's in the Supreme Court right now. Because you're essentially stepping around Congress, which you are not allowed to do. Executive orders were supposed to be incredibly limited in their use and scope and temporary. They're not binding law, and they shouldn't be. Then that's why they can be challenged in the court of law. They're not law. I mean, there are, in a certain sense, a temporary thing, but I'm incredibly frustrated. And BlackRock's foolish to try to pursue that path because it's only going to set them in line with only one political side of the aisle. So now you're going to be under even more scrutiny from the other side. And then let's say the pendulum does swing dramatically in the other direction very quickly, which is what usually happens when you go to these extremes. Where's that going to put BlackRock? Underneath the boot heel of a political party, which is dumb. Does that make sense to anybody? Yeah, by the way, all of my certs and even my college education is completely worthless in the IT now. I mean, it looks good on paper, but I mean, nobody's dealing in what was being done. When I retired from that industry, when I left that industry to do what I do now, things were already on the brink of change, and that's almost 20 years ago. So I've been in the job market since I was 13 years old, folks. So I've been around a long time. Whew. Hey, Brightest Day's here. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. This dude's awesome. Check out Brightest Day and all he does. He does a lot of great stuff. Well, here's the other thing, 11 Alpha. You're right. In the 70s, IQ tests were banned for hiring. Makes sense. So companies began requiring degrees as a proxy, which meant you had to have a certain level of intellect, right? and a certain amount of resilience to show up in a location each and every day. This is the way the degree was explained to me, and we're going back to the 80s when I was being told you need to go to college. Here's the problem. Had I started a trade in high school, which I was working in the trades temporarily here and there as I needed to earn money, because you work in construction and all of that pretty easily in summer breaks or spring breaks or fall breaks or whatever. Had I stuck with a trade or developed a trade and then eventually become a contractor or whatever, and a business owner, I could have been fabulously wealthy had I done that rather than go to college. I mean, starting a business, expanding the business, growing the business, getting a good accountant. This is the other thing people misunderstand about proper business structure. If you are a business owner and you are looking to expand, you always look for somebody that's better than you, smarter than you, and you hire them. And then for every position. So if I have a weak point, which might be accounting, I find the best accountant there is. Somebody hopefully younger than me, somebody that's willing to, try to stretch their legs and build themselves up. And then in order to keep them around, you kind of create a pretty decent partnership with them. Not necessarily an actual partnership, but you encourage them in their growth and you reward it. And that keeps them from leaving you. And then for every single thing that you do from that point, everybody else you bring in, you're always looking for somebody that's more talented. Probably the most successful person at doing that is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is genius because he goes out and he brain drained everything. He did. Elon Musk single-handedly destroyed other companies' ability to acquire engineers in a lot of different fields simultaneously. And then he did it again. He has 3 generations worth of the smartest people working for him at multiple companies. That's how you do it. And again, it's just a simple understanding of that, right? And your ability to take less and reward yourself less. You pay yourself for the future. And believe me, that's a really good rule. When you go and do something, you accomplish something, and as a business owner, you pay yourself first. But it doesn't always have to be an immediate recompense. It can be just as an investment in the future. So you have to figure out what that means to you, whether or not it means more money in your pocket now or more money down the road. But paying yourself should be your first thing. But anyway, moving on. But that's the way you do it, and you can do it multiple times over, which again, Elon Musk has demonstrated. So, but yeah, college right now is really a scam, unfortunately. Yeah, the Supreme Court's about to kick the teeth in on some of this stuff, so paying attention to that. Yeah, Fortran, Basic, yes, yeah, COBOL. Do you realize how much I had to relearn COBOL? We were coming up on Y2K, and we were desperately writing code. Oh, don't crash, don't break, don't not good. Did they even have IT in the 1800s? I love you, Six. Thanks for being here. I miss you, sweetie. You better be on this Sunday show. I'm trying to add more female representation on the Late Night with Culture show. So, Zax, what's up, brother? Got to get you on a late night show as well. Culture Kino's been working hard for 100 years. I never should have told you guys that stuff. And yeah, this is the other problem with IQ tests. They unfortunately they are culturally biased, or they were back then specifically. I don't know if that's been corrected now, but I'm going to tell you this. I scored surprisingly high when I was completely blasted on alcohol. So that's a story I'll have the boss tell one day. We were a little tipsy, more than that. And we each sat down at the computer and took this IQ test. Whew, it was really funny. Let's see. Pilgrim Media for $2 says, I worked on IBM 360 mainframes. I'm old. Yes, we are. Pilgrim Media. Oh, God, we're old, but that's fun. Yes, this is 6 Minute Ultra, says Larry. Yeah, sorry. This is, I'm trying something new on Tuesdays and Thursdays and going along, and we're calling it bonus time. And it's fun. You guys really, you're making it a lot of fun. And of course, the the participation from the chat's amazing. And yeah, everybody gets awarded for participating. Yeah, it's no challenge. It's the other thing, right? They're trying to eliminate grades. Oh, and by the way, they're now risking your future health with this next crowd of doctors who are opting out of participating in the top list because they are diving into the DIE. Again, die is accurately what it should be called, because you're essentially destroying entire professions. Truly. Darren Hughes for $5. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Wow, you're full of money today. They'll have to admit they were led astray. Great point. Great thought. It needs to be shared. It will help make it happen. I agree with that. Well, that's why I said it. They will have to admit that they were led astray. And the same thing's starting to happen with the global crisis we just suffered, right? And all of these late admissions, which we knew were coming because we'd been saying them years ago, and people on this platform are being banned and persecuted for it. And many other platforms as well. It's not just, this one. But, and that was wrong. And they know it. They know it was wrong. They do. Somebody's going to have to hold somebody accountable at some point if we don't start getting some mea culpas, which is a fancy Latin way for saying my bad. Oh, I'm sorry. The major problem I see with the trades now is a lot of them don't let people in on the ground floor at all without them having prior experience. HR doesn't like hiring people who without it. That's true. Yeah, you can still get in on the trades. I mean, I know an owner of an HVAC, or a couple owners of HVAC companies. I know an owner of a landscaping company. I know a plumber. I know a lot of these guys that they own their companies. They have a lot of employees, and they're bringing in people left and right out of high school, no experience. They're actually bringing high school kids to work on large trade projects, like in construction and stuff like that. So you can still get in. Electricians are starting to bring people in. And it just, I think a lot of times, Meat and Bamhammer, depends on the part of the country you're in. If you're having a lot of development, the problem is you're about to see a massive stagnation in construction outside of commercial and multi-residential construction, because wow, this is your economic conversations, because you're going to see a primary housing market collapse for single family, and which is going to hurt a lot of the investment guys out there, the equity guys, but not as much as it's going to hurt individuals. So just keep that in mind. What's up, Mephisto? Yeah, I'm going super long. True. And you know what? Thunderduck says something I think is true now. Is college a way to keep someone poor and dependent? Yeah. Right now, you're being enslaved in a monetary system instead of like being enabled, or enabled's not the right word. Capitalism is the most unique way to operate ever. And it allows for anybody, a common man, to become vastly wealthy. One of the best descriptions I ever found for success was find something that you want to do and make that your job. Find something nobody's doing that you enjoy and make that your job. If you make both, if you do either one of those things in a capitalistic environment like we supposedly have here in the States still, that will lead to your success. Really will. You just can't stop working at it, which is, again, something that's not being taught. It's creating a level of dependency, and a level of enslavement that you shouldn't be living underneath. That's not the yoke you should carry around. The only yoke you should carry around is your ability to be successful relies on you putting in the work every day, whatever that means to whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Yeah, and this is the other problem. I think you're right, Q2Cast. Kids that are hitting college now, they were passed through the entire process. They never had to earn anything. There's no Fs. I mean, I'm sure there are still schools that still have some credibility left that they will hand out an F when you fail, but they're just passed along. So, even though you have no merit, you somehow succeeded. Doesn't work. And this is, again, the truth here is what's said here. 27 Baltimore schools were scoring below math and reading scores. Yeah. Yeah. And they keep passing them along. And you get a politician in there that wants to address it. Like, I forget her name, Kasich. She's a really younger woman. She did a lot of commercials. Gosh, she was a very attractive black woman. I forget her name. I think her last name was Kasich. Anyway, she was talking about all these things in Baltimore, which is amazing. Hey, what's up, Jamie? Good to see you, bud. Yeah, Pascal. Oh, yeah, no kidding. Whoosh. Oh wow, I'm way behind in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Apologize. Yeah, workforce laziness has made trades premium money. Yeah, dude, do you know how much a plumber makes now? It's almost double what it was 5 years ago per hour. I'm not kidding. A lot of room there. Hey, Tina, good to see you. Eric A, for another $1.99. Cultural left IT to become CC male gigolo. There you go. Thank you, Eric A. C++. Yeah, that was kind of the thing that was really good for a while. I spent a lot of time doing like assembly. We'll get into all that later, but I don't want to talk about that stuff. Hey, what's up, Floral? Good to see you. It is late. Yeah, I went longer than I thought. I was only going to go for an hour. We're 90 minutes in now. Lisa, what's going on, Lisa? Lisa saying hi to Larry. Yeah, find your passion. Indeed, Darren. Indeed. It rained in my kitchen. Crap. Do you have bad rain, Southern? Well, that's no good. Or did you have a pipe burst? By the way, that's a weird thing from the 70s, right? Houses in the West that were constructed in the 70s and 80s had very strange ideas about plumbing. Not good ones. Yeah, culture hair care products. They are on the way. I know. I've encountered some setbacks there, but you'll have them. Oh wow! Now I have Nintendo in my head. Floral, don't distract CC. There you go. We've got pain in the patoot. Pain in the patoot says bell curves are the devil. Indeed. Yeah. Again, if the majority of people hit 40% on a test, what just happened? Yeah. Again, it's that de-evolution, the descent into Hades, whatever you want to call it, of looking towards mediocrity and then trying to settle below that. And it just keeps driving the level of mediocrity down until you are essentially at the lowest common denominator, always. You don't need, that's not a good productive workforce. We're watching financially significant times in countries like Mexico right now, where they have a level of skill in Mexico and a very inexpensive labor force that is actually beyond rivaling China. They're kicking their butts. You're going to start seeing a lot of work being done in Mexico rather than China. Of course, we're also kind of decoupling from China, which we've been doing for the last 5 years. It's not going to be a pretty process, folks. And of course, the Union of Amateur Strategists for $2 says hair products. I'm out of pomade. Well, you'll get some. The next thing I'm going to be trying to incorporate is going to be a hair mist that takes away people's frizziness and stuff. So, I ran into that recently when one of the products that I use started to create some frizziness, let's say. So, yeah. My camera does do tricks. Oh, I'm so far behind you guys. Where do I rate Guy Ritchie? That's a great question, DS Ford. I think he's pretty good, to be honest with you. He is always his editing and direction is a little avant-garde. I really prefer some of the stuff that he does because of the way he does it. He's really close to he's got the right kind of ideas like Quentin Tarantino does. He just sees stuff different, and I enjoy it. I'm telling you right now, this new film that's coming out, the Operation Fortune, that might be worth seeing because I think it opens tomorrow. So I'll probably catch it. Maybe take a family member or something. But always interested in that stuff. But yeah, I think I put him up there. He's really good. Robert Rodriguez, Guy Ritchie, McHugh used to be Guy, but I think I would rate McQuarrie. I think and although technically that's not his skill set, but I don't know. Quentin Tarantino's awesome. Can't get beyond that. Noel Chances here says, going to see Cocaine Bear based on your enthusiasm for it. Okay, set your expectation bar low. Realize that it wasn't a perfect film. It's not an epic. It's just fun. It's dumb fun. And I had a lot of fun in it. So check it out. Let me know what you think. I really do like feedback like that. So yeah, and this is the truth. Hemorrhoid Hurts comes with the hard news, everybody. Plumber's $80 plus an hour in Australia. AI is not going to fix your toilet. That's right. You guys are great. Yeah, a lot of people, and this is the thing, I guess most people don't overuse a product. That's all I have to say. War Monkey, let down your hair. There you go. I think, Lisa says, I think culture is a missing link to male pattern baldness. There you go. Brill Cream. There you go. Let's see who else is there. Still waiting for a sequel for The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I would love that. What did you guys think of that? See, I thought Cavill was great in that. I think he did a wonderful job. I think they cast the L of that well. Really. I would love to see that sequel to that film. And this is the truth. Filiato gets there. Use product on alternating days. Same thing with shampooing and conditioning. Don't do it every day. It's not good for your hair, especially for dudes, right? Ladies, you overdo stuff in your hair. Sorry. The boss is going to help me make sure we have a line of ladies stuff, although I think some of the dude stuff's going to work just fine. It's just protein. Your hair is protein, kind of, mostly. Anyway. One man show. All I have to do to my hair is remember having it. That's right. Love you guys. Oh, hey, Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2 says, start calling the eat the bugs people as kulaks. Okay. Sounds good. As long as it doesn't get me in trouble. Why not? Kulaks. Yeah, Guy Ritchie does have a couple that were definitely misses, but he's done some great stuff. Honestly. I loved Man from U.N.C.L.E. says Rob Thunderheart. What's up, Cam? It's been a minute. Can't wait for Culture Care products for hair. I'm going to grow my hair out so I can have luscious locks like Casino. Well, that'll be awesome. It will be. I'm excited. There's good stuff. What's up, Darth Plato? There's good stuff out there, folks. It's good stuff out there. Conditioner Casino's product line. I think you guys are going to like it. Really do. Yeah, the soundtracks are fantastic. Izash Melody. Yeah, I like Richie. Like I said. Larry, the name's so nice. You say it twice. Larry for $2 says CC donating hair soon. No rush, all good. Just asking. Okay, so because I don't like looking like Lord Farquaad like I did the last time I donated my hair is long enough to donate now. This is the truth. But what I'm going to do is do an oil treatment and a severe conditioning, deep conditioning in my hair, probably in the next week or two. And then I'm going to let it go another 6 inches and then I'll donate the appropriate length, which will leave me with some length. But the problem is the longer my hair gets, the heavier it gets. And so, it strips out some of the natural body. But like I said, so I imagine late summer will probably be when my hair donation happens, which I think puts us in Florida at that point. We'll see. Curtis, what's up, Curtis? Good to see you, bud. But it's coming up. It's coming up. Like I said, the story behind the hair really is all about the donation. But I do take great pride in my hair, and I have to because I'm giving it to somebody else. Yeah, you're gonna get you know what? Maybe not this next member stream, but the following one, I'll actually show the logo and everything else right before I open up the product line. So, because I'm hoping to have it done. I wanted to have it done this month. I really did. I was hoping it would be ready to go in March. It's just not. Go full Mr. Clean. No, I look ridiculous. My head looks like a topographical map of like Colorado when I shave my head because I was a boy and I crashed into stuff a lot. And I had all the way from my first to my 7th birthday, through my 7th birthday, I got stitches on my birthday. I stuck I stuck a stick through my cheek. I had a scar. Like, whoop. Yeah, don't run with scissors, sticks, stuff. That. Oh, here we go. The kulaks were the land-owning peasant class in the Soviet Union. They were purged by Lenin and Stalin for being too bourgeois, bourgeois, bougie, you say, bourgeois. You will own nothing. Oh, a Dapper Dan. There you go. Little pomade. You are such a bad boy, CC. Thank you, Thunderduck. Eric K for $5. Little known fact: culture has dominated the American manufacturing market. Here's the fun thing, right? So for whatever reason, I decided that I would say anybody who donated $100 to Comics Division, I guess this was 2 weeks ago now, I would shave down my beard to a goatee, which I did. But look, beard's coming back. Doesn't take long. I grow hair fast. But thank you for the $5 super chat, Eric. Cam says, donating your hair is awesome. You are such a mensch. No. Okay, so I did a video about this, and I'll do it real quick. I am my family is like cancer central, especially the ladies, and the ladies go through such a hard time when they're being treated for cancer, specifically breast cancer and things like that. Hair loss is a real thing, and kids go through that. I mean, but specifically, it was directly touched my life, and I'm like, you know what? I grow hair like nobody's business. So, while it may not be the most professional look in the industry that I am in, I'm going to grow my hair and donate it. So I do. True story. So it's that important to me. There are lots of organizations out there that accept hair donations for wigs, and the one that I prefer using doesn't charge for their wigs, and yeah, so that's what I do and why I do it. And I used to use Locks of Love, but the organization, and I'll next time I do it, I'll share it because they've changed their names recently, and I don't remember off the top of my head. But there are organizations that you can utilize that don't charge for their wigs. Oh, wow. Sounds like Hammerade Hertz has a lot of watermelons in Australia. That's awesome. 35 pounder. Oh, I bet you it was good. Chickens do love it. They love the rinds, man. If you want to rehab your soil with your chickens, and your compost and everything, mix in the watermelon rinds and the chicken feces after they get through the watermelons and stuff, and put that in your compost bones, and then throw your red wiggler worms on top of that, and man, 6 months, 8 months later, you've got amazing compost. Anyway, can I donate armpit hair? Sure, Floral. Is that for Wilton's chest hair patch? I love you guys. All right, we've been going way too long. We went an hour and 45 on a 6-minute show. Sorry, guys. Oh, but I appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out today. I hope we covered some stories that might have been interesting to you. And we'll get back to this. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, expect a long form video or live stream, and we'll look at doing it on maybe a Saturday or whatever. And it was amazing to maintain it, as many as 70 to 100 of you here at one time. You guys are incredible. Man, you guys are great. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Oh, I would love to talk about cartoons. Thunderduck, I think that'd be a blast. Cartoons and then anime, and could definitely do that. I'll probably bring in Tom because, man, Tom's Looney Tunes and Disney cartoon knowledge is insane. Guy's genius. Love him. Yeah, this is longer than the 69-minute daily. That's right. Anyway, so tonight, Comics Division, check it out. We're going to run the credits again at the end of the segment so I can say see you. But Comics Division tonight, going to be a good time. I hope you all will make it, hang out with us. You can catch that stream in multiple places, YouTube, Rumble, Odysee, all simul-streamed. And then we switch so that we can talk about other subject matter that is, well, not necessarily something that YouTube likes. So we do an extended version over on Rumble and Odysee. So do check that out this evening. You guys are wonderful, and I do appreciate it. We'll have a good time. So on that note, I'm going to hit the credits again, and then we'll do the exit. And I love you guys. Thanks for being here today. And thanks to all these amazing people. I now have to add, I think, 20 more people to 23 more people to this list, which I'm thankful for. And you can see all these people support the channel, and I do appreciate that. Many folks are gifted memberships, and I love to do the membership streams, and we'll have one here pretty soon in March. Again, member streams, usually an hour and a half, 2 hours most, and we just kind of talk about whatever in the background. It's a private area. We're also going to try to do a high roller stream, and that's a public stream where the high rollers participate in the conversation of the day. It's usually a good time. Some subjects, we'll get to that this month as well. For everybody out there, I just want to say thanks for the amazing donations I got today, and for all of my wrenches. You're the best. Hope you have a wonderful Thursday, folks. See you tonight, and see ya.